What's up, everybody? This is Chris with the Slims Presents podcast, the first ever Slims Presents podcast. I am here with Kimberly Rose-Wendt and Eloisa Bravo of the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase. They're going to be playing at the Great American Music Hall on January 18th. That's a Friday, so you definitely come check them out. We got a few other cool shows coming up. This Friday at Slims, we've got the Cuckoo Birds and Walking Spanish and Shannon Harney. That is Friday at Slims. And at the Music Hall on Friday, we have Chelsea Wolfe and King Dude. That's going to be an awesome show. I will be there for sure. The following day, Saturday, we have Sleepless Nights, the 11th annual Sleepless Nights. It's a tribute to Graham Parsons and quote-unquote cosmic American music. It's got a ton of great local artists, all paying tribute to that sort of country rock 70s sound. So definitely come check that one out. At Slim's that same night, Saturday the 12th, we have Los Racas from Oakland via Panama with A1. It's going to be an awesome hip-hop show. And then on Monday the 14th, we have the Great American Pop-Up number 2. It's going to be lots of food, lots of drink, lots of crafts. So you can come on down, eat, drink, shop, be merry, all that stuff. We're going to have Dora's Donuts, Donna's Tamales, Rice Cracker Sushi, Yes and Yes Designs, tons of awesome local artists and chefs. Our own chef for Great American Music Hall, James Whitmore, is going to be there cooking up some crocodile bites, I hear. Some crazy stuff, some bison ribs, crazy stuff. You're going to want to check it out. And then we have the Bands for Bands showcase. That's coming up on Friday the 18th at Slim's with Chaos is headlining, Potential Threat, Mystic Rage, Star Destroyer. It's going to be a ton of great bands. And then finally at the Music Hall, Friday, January 18th, the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase featuring these ladies, Kimberly Rose-Wendt and Eloisa Bravo.
Yay!
We're going to welcome them to the podcast. How you ladies doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm doing just great. Thanks for coming down, taking part in the first Slims Presents podcast. Super psyched about your show coming up. It's going to be all female stand-ups from the Bay Area. Lots of cool people. I've seen some sets from you guys. I've seen a few sets of the other people on the show. I think it's going to be awesome, but what do you guys think?
We're pretty pumped. We're stoked. We're a little excited.
So happy. So happy. Haven't slept in months now. How happy I am.
So why don't you guys introduce yourself real quick, starting with Kimberly.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Rose-Wendt. You can call me Kim. I've been doing comedy for a couple years now in the Bay Area. I started in Denver and then moved my way over here. How about you, Eloisa?
I'm a great comic too. You're about the best female comic in the Bay Area.
No, you're
I know
the
some
best
people are gonna
female.
hate me for that, but yes, you fucking are. You are. You're like a goddess on stage.
She has to kiss my ass.
I do.
You pay
I
her to
slipped
do
her
that?
100 for that.
No, she just like needs to look at me, and then that's.
Okay.
I'm in love with Kim. So I'm Eloisa. I have been doing comedy for 2 years in the Bay Area. I originally from Venezuela. That's the accent.
That's Venezuela,
Okay.
if you couldn't understand.
Thank you. Because people think that I say Minnesota. And that's an awkward conversation.
Venezuela. That's not Mexico, right?
Well, you know, quite it's close enough. It's the same thing, but with lesser good food.
Oh,
Is
not
that
as good
in
food?
English?
The
Yeah.
food is not as
Not
good.
as good as No.
Ooh.
Mexicans know how to cook.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do Venezuelans eat?
Well, it's like very boring. Like they have beans and then rice and then some sort of protein, and that's it. That's pretty much it.
Is that why you're so tiny?
Yeah. Well, in high. Yes. True. Yeah.
So how did you guys meet? Did you start the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase together?
We met at a comedy competition at Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale. It was my first comedy competition after I moved to the Bay Area. So what was that, like 2010?
2 years ago?
2011. It's 2013 now?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. 2010, 11-ish.
11.
When did you break your leg?
Yeah, I broke my leg too. Yeah, that was 2011.
You know what? It was a couple years ago. 2011, Rooster Teeth Feathers. Eloisa actually won that night. She won that round.
And then lost.
And then she won that night. And then we just kept running into each other, open mics. We would get booked on showcases together. We would sit in the back and bitch about everything. And so we just kind of, we became friends and would see each other at shows and stuff. And then we started Bitch Slap in 2012.
Yes.
By the way, everybody, we're slapping after the Bitch Slap. That's going to be the new trademark of the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase. So every time you tell someone to come to the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase, you want to add in that little slap in there, or else you're not getting the full gist of the show. So again, Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase, January 18th at Great American Music Hall. Woo! Starring Kimberly, Rose-Wendt, and Eloisa Brava. There's a lot of other ladies on the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about some of those performers? The headliner, Marga Gomez.
Mm-hmm. So we booked in 2012, we started Bitch Slap, and we would do a 4-person show with a headliner. And so we've taken all of our favorite headliners and put them all on one show. And then Marga Gomez is our special guest.
Super headliner?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So Priya Prasad has headlined for us. Corinda Dobbins headlined for us. Natasha Muse and Liz Grant. And then Marga Gomez is our headliner. And then I'll be hosting the show, and Eloisa is also doing a set. So we'll be, in addition to producing the show, we're a part of the show as well.
Yeah.
Nice. And you guys, where do you usually have the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase?
Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase is, whoa, that was a good one. We're usually at the Exit Cafe. It's part of the Exit Theater, 156 Eddy Street.
Okay. Is that by the Warfield? Like, Eddie's? I'm trying to think, because there's a little theater that I've seen some comedy shows at over there. Maybe it's not the one.
This is like a theater. It's very pretty. It is in the heart of the Tenderloin.
Yes.
That's where real comedy is happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is in the heart. But once the stage is beautiful, the place is amazing, and they share booths, and it's a nice place. You know, tiny. It's only 25 people, and we have it twice a month.
Okay.
It's a good working stage for comics to develop material, or work on headlining, or work on whatever. We're going to have guest hosts next year. So it's a great room. We've built the room for comics to come work on their stuff. It's not necessarily, I mean, it maxes out at 25.
Right.
So it's an intimate setting. You can really get to know if your jokes are funny or not, because there's the room is full, but it's not that many people. So it's a good spot to develop material. Yeah.
So what initially gave you the idea to do an all-female comedy show?
Because we rock. The thing is this, like, comedy has always been, it's always guys that do comedy. I mean, the famous comedians are all guys. And the other day I even was watching an interview with, like, it wasn't Louis C.K., it was Chris Rock and a bunch of other famous comedians. They asked, well, so who's your favorite female comic? And they all went like, nobody could come with an answer. It's just because there are not enough of us out there. Because, historically, people don't think that women are funny, and we're hilarious. I go to all sorts of open mics all the time and showcases, and it's always the women that does best.
Yeah.
Always.
No, that's usually the case.
Yeah.
I'm a big mixed martial arts fan. I don't know if you ladies watch it at all, but
MMA.
MMA, yeah, nice slang. We usually think of it as like a male-dominated sport, but there is female fighters, and they fight on the same cards as men, and they always bring it. They always steal the show. So, and I'm a huge proponent of strong women stepping up and getting their due. So when I first heard about the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase, I was totally into it. I got really excited about it. That's one of the reasons why you guys are the first guests on the podcast, because it's something that is near and dear to my heart. But have you gotten any any sort of blowback from that? Have people been accepting of the female show, or is it like, people like preconceptions? They don't think it's going to be that funny.
We've had amazing feedback.
Yes.
Like all the female comics that we've invited to do the show have had a great time. They've given us a lot of positive feedback. Also, we've started developing a fan base. So, I mean, we've even had people, like husbands who've been dragged to the show, and they're like, well, I don't know what this is going to be. And they've left saying, you know what? I had a really good time, and you have somehow, we've changed their minds in some
Right.
way.
Yeah.
So far, it's been really positive.
I will agree. It has been an awesome experience, and it is true that the majority of the people that comes to see the show are women.
Yeah.
But that's awesome because we need a hangout. We need something to do, like because there are a lot of working women here in the city. And what do? You go to a comedy show with your girlfriends, and
Yeah.
that is an amazing experience for them. And then we can give them the comedy that they want. And it's true when we have the boyfriends and the husbands that come, they're like they want it, and they love it as well. Women in this city are extremely funny. I think San Francisco is a great place for female comics. We have a very strong group of female comics in the area, and we need to showcase that.
What about traditional comedy clubs? Is it more difficult for women to get shows at like the Punchline or Cobb's or something like that?
They have an open mic at the semi-open mic every Sunday at the Punchline.
Yeah.
Just go there and just count how many women go on stage.
Is
I
it
think
because
the
they're
number,
intimidated, or why do you think that is?
I think the number of male to female comics in this town is still super high. I mean, there's still a majority of male comics, and so I think it's in the numbers. The female comics who have stuck around have had to work hard to get shows, have had to work
Yeah.
hard to get spots, and so I think that's part of the reason that there's so many funny females in San Francisco. It's like they're all working their asses off.
Yeah.
So the number of male comics at the Punchline, at Cobb's, at these bigger comedy clubs is definitely higher. And I don't know if that's still just because that stereotype is around, that women can't be funny, or if it's just that there's less, like, I don't know why.
I
It's
think
just-
it is. I mean, I don't want to be, but yeah, I think there is something about that. If the women are not funny. I know in comedy, like in general, it's kind of like you're supposed to be. You're either pretty or you're good looking or you're funny.
Yeah, like you
Like-
can't be both. You
Yeah.
can't be.
Yeah. So yeah, I think people still have, like, even when I talk to people and say like, you do comedy, they're like, really? Yeah.
Still?
So yeah, I think so. I mean, they're changing. Like it is changing. I mean, they're coming along. But
Yeah, and it's definitely changed in the past 50 years. It's definitely changed in even the past 10 years, probably. But we just want to keep it going, you know?
Yes.
We want to keep promoting female comedians. We want to keep promoting our all-female comedy show.
Well, is San Francisco a big comedy city? I mean, I don't know a ton of comedians that got their start in San Francisco. Is it not the kind of place where you want to, get your career started? Do you move somewhere else to get it started?
Yeah, you move to LA or New York. Yeah, San Francisco is not like what I have heard that a lot of people who wants to do this, as a career, they come to San Francisco, they spend a couple of years, and then they move. I personally believe that's bogus. I think that if you're going to make it, you're going to make it no matter where you are. I mean, you have like the three guys that they do the blue collar thing. They're
Right,
from
right.
Texas. Who the heck does comedy in Texas? And they were doing comedy in Texas.
Yeah.
Sure, the proximity to LA has to do something that maybe is so easy. And then just move there. But I'm not going to move. I love San Francisco, and I'm going to promote my career from here. And this is what I'm doing. Like, I will always be... I could go on the road and, go a tour or whatever, but I will always be a San Francisco comedian.
Well, where do you think the disconnect lies? Is it with booking? Is it with audiences? Is it with the comics themselves? What do you think San Francisco needs to kickstart its comedy scene?
Try to keep the good comedians happy. Yeah, you have the good comics, they leave. So then the next time you go to a comedy show, they're all, cheating and suck. And of course, so that's become.
Right.
But we have very good comics and they just leave. So if we continue to try to produce shows that are quality and we respect our comedians and we respect our program, we try to produce it well, they will stay. And then people here will be aware that San Francisco is a comedy scene. What do you think, Kim?
I agree.
I agree with everything she said.
Not everything.
I concur. Concur.
Well, I mean, LA, for example, that's where Hollywood is. That's where all the TV shows are happening. So if a comic wants to get paid a bunch of money, probably they need something on TV. So I feel like that's where,
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they're all going. That's where they end up. See you later,
True.
guys.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys tried other cities to sort of test the waters, or?
I have done. Well, sorry. Yeah,
No, go ahead.
because you're starting in Denver, right?
Yeah, I started doing comedy in Denver. And I think like every major city, I mean, Denver, Chicago, San Francisco, like there are comedy scenes here and there are a lot of funny people and there's a lot of places to get booked and there's a lot of places to get work. So it's just a different level than what's happening in LA and New York. I mean, in every major city has a comedy club,
No.
you know.
I did some comedy in Miami.
Okay.
And that place is really cool too. Well, because
Clubs.
it is a good comedy scene in Miami. Like I think actually in Miami it will be easier to become a paid comedian. Like somebody who actually makes a living out of it, because there's so many comedy clubs and they're packed every night because they have a lot of tourists that have nothing to do at nighttime.
Right.
So they, So I think, yeah. But then you have to live in Miami. And that's, yeah.
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 Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna say about that?
Yeah, Miami kills everything, doesn't it? Even a conversation. You just say, I think it dies.
So you guys are comedians, obviously, but I'm guessing you have other jobs. What do you guys do when you're not comedians, and how does it influence your routines?
I teach preschool. I've written a couple jokes about the preschoolers. Honestly, I feel like it's training all the time. I mean, during story time,
Right.
I read with the funny voices.
Uh-huh.
I do improv when one of the kids accidentally runs away. So there's different, it's always a training process. Yeah, what about you, Miss Eloisa? Where do you work?
I work for a construction company.
Oh yeah.
But man,
Ooh.
I know. They're like, I work they're plumbers. And yeah, that's fun.
Is crack a problem?
Crack? Yeah, no, they're
Plumber.
fine with that.
Crack.
But they're definitely very, they will call me sweetheart and stuff like that. I mean, they don't slap my ass, but it's
no.
kind of like
The
close
men's
enough.
world.
Yeah, it's kind of like being in a math episode, but without the cool clothes. It's just with hats and yeah.
So what are you doing with the construction company? Are you out
I'm
there
the office
hammering?
bitch.
Oh, you're the office bitch?
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I'm the office bitch. These assholes asked me to go get coffee.
Ooh.
No, they do that. They fucking do that. Then I go and get coffee. I'm like, what the? Yeah, I love them though. But what the fuck?
Bitch slap those motherfuckers.
I know. I cannot wait to be famous.
Will you keep it real, though?
No.
If you become famous,
no.
you're not going to keep it real.
Oh.
She's already a diva. Don't even worry.
I would never
Don't
keep it.
even worry.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you would do?
Me?
Yeah.
It's just,
Bring me coffee.
I would do that. Yeah, I would hire my boss just to get me coffee. Pay him 3 times more. I'm like, but you're just going to get me coffee from now on. Yeah.
What about you, Kim? If you became rich tomorrow, if the bitch slap comedy showcase suddenly blew up, and you guys had a special on Comedy Central, and your faces were
I don't
plastered
know how
all
much
over.
you think that actually
Yeah, that means
pays.
nothing. But let's say that we do a
But
movie.
let's see.
Oh, I didn't-
a movie. Yeah, Bitch Slap. The movie.
The movie, okay.
You know what? I would adopt a lonely child and pay for pizza. Fuck, I would party. I would party. We would have a really good time. I would maybe pay off some debt, buy a yacht. How rich are we getting? Because I want a boat.
Okay.
You want a
I want a
boat?
boat.
Call
All
it
right.
the bitch.
You know what? You know what I would really like is to just buy a boat. Like the bitch slap. Just
I
on the side of
like
a
it.
boat.
I like it. Oh my God, that's my new dream.
That's
We're
something to
buying a
aspire
boat.
to.
We are buying a boat. This is happening.
The bitch slap.
Yes, I'm googling this tomorrow.
You're
See,
gonna
like,
Google
yes,
it?
this is
How
happening.
do we get famous? Google that shit.
Let's
We want a
Google
boat.
this. Yes, we want a big boat. I heard that Steve Jobs' yacht was left behind somewhere. Yeah, it was in the newspaper. Steve Jobs had like this yacht.
Steve Jobs had a yacht.
And he left her somewhere in Europe. I don't know, because that's what
Find
really-
us that yacht. Dear internets, find us that
Yeah.
yacht.
Well, they found out, and they want to like take it because he hasn't paid like taxes for years, because of course they forgot to have that yacht.
How do you forget you have a
this is
yacht? They
how-
forget. Oh, all this money. I forgot I had a
Yes,
yacht.
that's how fucking
What?
stinking rich you get. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm sure the wife like, are you sure we have? I think we rented it. Was it ours? Yes, of course it was. Remember? No, we rented that.
Feels like something's missing. Where did I
Oh.
put that yacht?
Did Steve really went crazy about that? Yeah, remember he was talking. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Rent.
Yeah.
What is this rent? I don't understand this concept.
We buy. That's all we do.
We buy. No, honey. We're working with that iPod money.
What would
We
you,
don't rent.
What would you do if you got rich?
If I got rich, wow. Catch me off guard here. I would probably buy like a
You can't buy my
really
boat.
awesome house.
Oh, okay.
It's not a boat, it's a house. Like a Frank Lloyd Wright house or something that's really cool looking, because I'm totally a hermit. So
See, I just want to get the fuck out of here. I'm like, put me on a boat. Let's go somewhere.
Yeah,
You're
this
like,
is
I just want to
actually
stay in the
very
house.
telling of personalities here. Who wants to flee? Who wants to stay rooted? Who wants to subjugate people?
I want to subjugate people.
You're the subjugator. That's
Yeah,
You
I
are the
love that
subjugator.
shit. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love
Subjugation.
it. It's a good feeling.
okay.
You heard it here first, folks. So, Bay Area comedy. What would you do to jumpstart it? If you could have your ideal platform, what would that be?
But we're doing.
Oh yeah? So
Yeah.
you're living the dream.
I think we're doing the right thing.
The yacht should be here any second.
Any minute.
We're
You
doing-
ordered it on
Well,
eBay?
actually, just to be a little like, even though this is how I see it, I'm gonna actually get a little bit serious now.
That's fine.
No, like maybe we get famous, we make it or not, but we're definitely putting our 2 cents of how we want San Francisco to be. And it will take a lot of people, and there is a lot of really good female producers in the area too, by the way. I mean, the women in this town are producing really good shows. We're at the head of that, but yeah, but they are doing that, and we all need to come, and so I'm doing my part to make San Francisco a really hot comedy scene. So yeah, I
What-
will die trying.
What are some of your inspirations? Not necessarily, it doesn't have to be comedians, but where do you draw your inspiration from to even get up there and make your voice heard to people? What was that person or the event that happened in your life or sequence of events that led you to saying, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot? Because a lot of people don't.
Danielson.
Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, a lot of people have the dream in their head and they've always wanted to get up on stage and sing or do comedy or whatever it is that they're passionate about, but most people don't.
Yeah.
So what was it that
I
really...
kind of started on a dare. Like a friend of
yeah?
mine, a friend of mine had told me that I was one of the funniest women he'd ever met.
Okay.
And he was like, you should do stand-up. And I was like, you're an idiot. Like, what? But then I was like, stand-up? I've never even thought about that. And so I went to an open mic. This is when I was living in Denver. So I went to this open mic at this shitty little bar, and it was snowing, and everything was awful. And the stage was just like this box that was like taped together. And the microphone, like this was all taped together. Like there was just, everything was just like wrapped in electrical tape.
Brother.
And you weren't supposed to touch the microphone. And so I was just kind of like, right? And I just like, it was like 3 minutes of just like I remember those 3 minutes so intensely because I was just like, oh, what's happening? Like I was like losing my mind, but like so into it all at the same time. And I don't even know if anyone really laughed at anything I said or even like understood. Maybe they didn't even hear me. I don't even know if that microphone worked. But after that, I was like, yes, I need to do this again and again and again. So even when I moved back to the Bay Area, I just kept doing it. And it's like addicting. There's like MSG or methamphetamines or something right here. And it's like, you have to do it again.
I will agree. It is addicted. Yeah, there is some type of drug that they're putting open mind. It's true. But I'm happy you're addicted to it because you're really good.
You're really good.
I'm very happy. Yeah.
Yes. What was the first time on stage that you really remember the audience responding to either negatively or positively? Because if your first time, you're sort of like so in your head that you're not really paying attention.
And I felt like that's kind of how the first few months were. Even really the first year is just like, you're like, it's like learning how to walk. You're like, what do these legs do? What's happening? Like, oh, I have to get up first and then I step. You know, there's all these intricate little parts of it. So I feel like the first year, you're just kind of like learning how to talk and learning how to tell jokes and like learning how to even write a joke. And what does that mean? I do remember my first like performance. That was at Comedy Works in Denver. And they have this new talent night and you just have to call this number and you call the number every night for like 6 weeks or something. And then they throw you on stage. And so I remember like being in the green room and asking other comics what things were about. And, you know, like, oh, they're going to light me. And, and like it was so... I remember that first experience and some friends of mine showed up and people laughed. And I was like, wow, I have this ability to make people laugh. That is amazing. That's powerful.
Yes. My worst time on stage was... Fuck, I don't know. I was doing a show, I don't know where, I could tell... Like, usually I'm likable on stage because I'm so short. And I have an accent that is kind of like, I mean, really, like, leave the poor Mexican alone. Like, nobody's really going to hate. But I was doing this thing, and they were all, like, Marina, really, very pretty girls, well together. And I'm talking about, like, how much my life is a mess and shit. And I could see the hatred in their eyes. Like, well, this is not cool. This is just not cool. What is she doing that? Ew. And yeah, they hated me from beginning to end, the whole time. That felt really bad.
What do you do in a situation like that?
Nothing. You go through and then you go
going?
home and cry. Like, you have a set when people hate you, what you do? You just, like, you continue, you go through emotions, you do whatever, and thank you, everybody. This was it.
This happened. Well, and I mean, you can try to pander to the audience. You can try to like acknowledge, hey, none of you like my jokes. You know, there's different things that you can do to like try to rip a laugh out of them, like no matter what. Or you can go out there and stick to your material and just like give it everything you got. So there's things you can do. Not every audience is gonna fucking love you, and so you have to deal with it. That's the thing you have to go through as a comedian. It's like,
but I'm just gonna be
spoken word.
Yeah, that didn't go that way. I am a horrible writer, so didn't go, so that was that. So I went back to jokes. That was fun.
Well, what was the thing that made you really feel like comedy was the thing that you wanted to do?
Yeah.
The Jack Daniels.
The Jack Daniels. What a buzz. That's true. Good. Yes. That's true. I love it. I cannot get enough. And I love performing. And then, yeah. Why do I want to do comedy? Well, I guess it's better than cutting myself at home. So it's just, less destructive.
Sort of.
True. Why do you want to do comedy?
I love making people laugh. Like, I love that feeling of I said something and you laugh. Like, that is a beautiful feeling. But there's also, like, this thing where you just said one sentence and then there's, like, a pause and you're going to wait for the next sentence and the whole audience is quiet and they're looking at you and they're like, what is she going to say next? And that is what I love. That second right there when they're like,
Yes.
So you're an egomaniac.
a little bit, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
So when you have a routine, is it very structured or do you riff off of the audience? Is there a lot of improvisation going on, or is it very
I'm
structured?
getting better at the improvisation part of it. When I first started doing comedy, I would like write jokes and remember them and like rehearse them with myself and then go to open mics and rehearse them. And then I would like get on stage and like leave my jokes and then go. So now I'm getting better about like, I'm interacting with the audience. I'm having a good time. They're having a good time. Like, and it's really like I'm hanging out with a bunch of strangers who are going to be my friend in a second, like, so about more like interacting with the audience. So I do a lot of writing and I write it. I have a lot of structured jokes, but I'm getting better I feel like that's where growing is happening for me right now, is like getting comfortable with that.
Yeah.
What about you, Eloisa?
I have my material that I do, and I would agree with Kim. Like, I'm just getting into talking. I think mainly it's because we're doing the Bitches Lab, and it's such a nice room to do so. It's so in your face that you need to talk to the people.
Yeah.
When you play bigger places, you cannot really see who's there, so you cannot. But
You just kind of tell jokes into the light.
Yeah, you're just stand there alone. But it's always, this is a thing that you really need to know how to improvise in case that somebody screams something.
Yeah.
So then you have to like address it. It's all about being in the moment. You need to address everything that is happening. Yeah, I don't think many like the big comedians playing in big rooms improvise, because it's how would you do that?
Yeah. Theater, comics, and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Speaking of hecklers, how do you treat hecklers? Do you ignore them? Do you tear them apart? What is your strategy?
So I've gotten some really good punchlines from hecklers. Like, they just tell my jokes way better than I do. I really.
You're saying
was
that on
sarcasm.
national internet, by the way.
I love them.
Go ahead.
They
Feisty.
are a fucking gift, because if anybody says that, you got yourself, because you can rip that guy apart.
It's just like opening
and
the
people
door.
are like, yes. I'm like, yes. Yeah, heckles are a good thing.
So,
Yeah.
translation, Eloisa walks around with the attitude, I wish a motherfucker would say some shit.
Oh yeah, please try me. Punk.
So all you hecklers out there, just try saying something to this bitch. Friday,
Yeah.
January 18th at Great American Music Hall. That's right. Friday, January 18th at Great American Music Hall. The A Bitch a Slap Comedy Showcase. So let's talk about who some of your favorite comics are. Who to you just is your idol? Or do you have one?
I like,
Go, you.
not you.
No, you.
Okay, I like Sam Kinison.
Oh, yeah?
And I love this guy. And I actually tried to mimic this guy because I'm an angry comic.
Uh-huh.
That's it's exhausting, but that's what I want to be. I like screaming and go crazy. And let's say I do copy his style a lot. And then now I'm getting fat like him too. So let's make the whole package. Like, yeah.
What was he one of like the first stand-ups that you saw and really resonated with you?
No, I actually started watching his stuff after I started doing comedy.
Oh, yeah?
Before that was, very mainstream. I love Chris Rock and I love Louis C.K. Louis C.K. is a monster. I love this man. He says things that are perfect.
Yeah.
Just funny, just perfect. But Sam Kinison, I like his style. And he was one of the first comedians that brought feeling
back. And it's like, you know what? Let's not be douchebags, And then I just really like Margaret Cho's attitude. Like, I just like that she's out there and she's like, this is who I am and you can't fucking take that away from me. And this is what I think about everything. So those are two of my favorites that are happening right now.
I like that.
Well, comics traditionally are, for lack of a better word, fucked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yes.
How are you guys? What's your personal fucked upness?
What isn't it?
Let's get it all out on the table here. Let's dish the dirty secrets. What's wrong with you guys?
Jesus Christ! So I have to lay down on the couch.
I can tell you what works.
Yeah.
I have a job and I pay rent.
Okay.
That's going for me.
Yeah.
And then
there's the whole.
And then everything else is just a mess.
Yeah. I'm bad at relationships. I'm bad at money. I had a drug problem. I play roller derby and I'm a stand-up comedian, which means I like to be physically and mentally abused.
Yeah.
So that's what I do with my life. That's what I do with my life. Like, for fun. I don't get paid for this. No. So let's just say everything.
Everything?
Yeah.
Across the board.
Well, I have that. Well, I have a very fucked up mother. Like, it comes from, definitely mommy issues. And I think we must have mommy issues because if you have deep daddy issues, so then you're holding a pole. You're not holding a mic. So this is kind of like mental shit, Then, I have never relate well with people. People always have seen me as a very annoying person. I can get obnoxious really fast. And I get obsessed with things, and I have a huge. And this is one thing that I'm so happy I'm working with Kim because my level of anxiety most people cannot take, and I'm very grateful that Kim works out with me on that one.
I think the teaching preschool has really helped because I'm used to little people who are crazy.
Kaboom!
So I'm like, oh, you need a timeout? Oh, baby needs her baba? Okay, what do you need? So I think we work really well together and we've just kind of accepted A, that we're each fucked up and B, that we don't really care that we're fucked up and that we're just going to kind of do this. And so you just kind of put it all out there and see how people respond. I mean, no one really likes my crystal meth jokes, so I kind of stopped telling them. They're like, oh, that's sad.
I think you should bring them back. They're good. Let's punch them up.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, crystal meth jokes. Those are always good. I appreciate a good crystal meth joke.
I feel like there are some areas of San Francisco that do not. Like there's definitely different kinds of audiences, and there are certain areas of San Francisco that seem maybe a little bit uptight.
Well, yeah, San Francisco is pretty uptight. We always kind of think of it as this liberal haven, hippies and punks and gender queers, and very accepting and open, but actually it's pretty
It's like
uptight.
everybody's like, I am an original. I'm the first vegan,
Right.
genderqueer, fucking spiky-haired bitch, and don't fucking talk to me, and I'm gonna smoke my cigarettes. And, you know what I mean? And everybody's like that. I'm the
Yeah.
first Marina girl that was ever like this, and I'm the first fucking guy who works. You know what I mean? Like everybody is an individual in San Francisco, and then they're an asshole, and then it's not like there's parts that aren't even a community. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Everybody's just crazy and angry and standing too close to each other.
What are the best crowds for you? Like, what type of person makes the best audience, or is there a type of person?
A drunk one.
Drunk people.
Yes.
That's real.
Okay.
Yes.
That is real.
Drunk
Yeah.
people laugh more.
Yes. You need to have booze and comedy. They go together. Like, yeah. You need that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
do.
good. I feel like it's also, I don't know where that thought went. Go ahead. That was, blame it on the meth.
Do you feel like women resonate or identify more with your acts, or do you sort of try and make it gender neutral so that you're not limiting yourself, or are you just like,
I write jokes that make me laugh. And so maybe they're relatable more to women because I laugh at them. But also, I don't necessarily, like we discussed before, my comedy is very egocentric. Like, I'm like, I want to make you laugh. I want to have that power and that, control almost.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know how to write jokes for somebody else. Like, I only know what makes me laugh. And then I kind of have to test the waters. I go to a bunch of open mics and just throw them out there and see what gets a good response and see, maybe I'll tweak them, but I don't think that I necessarily write for women or for men. And I don't think that we're doing bitch slap because only women are funny or you know what I mean? Like, we are actually going to expand next year and book male comedy as well. We are just saying that women are funny and kind of claiming our space,
Yeah.
Do you get some backlash from men like, oh, well, what if I have like a men-only comedy show? Then how would you feel about that?
I get that a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's funny how that happens,
I don't think
right?
people talk to me. I don't get
I
it.
get that a lot. But I was like, yeah, sure. Have it.
Yeah, it's called Every Other Comedy
Yeah,
Show.
we'll call it.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
And then after that, they jump into the racer thing too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can call it black comedy. Why can't I not have a all-white male come? I'm like, that's called
The
blue,
white man
Yeah.
feels victimized
Yeah.
somehow. Like, oh, now in this day and age, now, sir, you are victimized after hundreds and thousands of years of you being the one on top. Like,
But let's be real. There is an underrepresented minority of white males in comedy. True?
oh,
right?
now
right?
who's the comic,
Am I
huh?
Right?
What is it with these men in comedy, huh?
Oh.
They think they can be funny. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but what? Well, like, fine. Well, that's what I'm doing.
Right.
So
Do what you want.
you do whatever you need to do. Like, I don't care.
Well, there is a certain kind of person who's just a hater no matter what. Like anything that you do that is remotely living your dream or whatever, someone's always going to tear it down. But I mean, it's hard to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you internalize it, or do you just feel like,
It's just
you know what,
comedians
fuck
are
that guy,
so
fuck-
awkward. Comedians are so awkward that it's just difficult. Like, listen, you have your group of friends that you like, but usually when you talk to comedians, it's just something that you're not gonna put that much attention because usually they're really fucked up.
Well, and it's usually the people who are stirring shit aren't doing something. It's not
Right.
like they're the ones producing the show. It's not like they're you know what I mean? So that's their thing is I'm going to criticize everybody else. And so fuck them. Like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to care what this little douchebag over here thinks. Like,
But it's difficult because, like, you don't want to be, like, burn bridges, right? I mean, because it is a business. I mean,
Yeah.
you still, and these are your co-workers. So you don't want to like completely insult people or anything.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Even though you really feel like it. There are some people that are like, oh shit, I so hate you so much, and I still can say that to your face because, ugh. Because you never know. It's true. So you always need to keep it, Yeah. But as soon as I get famous, let me get that list out.
Well, do you guys hang out with a lot of other comics, or is it hard for you to hang out with other comics?
I mean, like I did a show last night and hung out with comics during the show and stuff like that, and I have some comics who I'm friends with. Yeah, I mean, I hang out with comedians and roller derby girls and preschoolers. Like, I don't know if I have a good perspective on what reality is anymore.
So how did you get involved in roller derby? I'm curious about that.
Well, like the comedy thing, it was kind of a dare. I was living in San Jose at the time, and the Bay Area Derby Girls was just starting up, and I'd heard about it, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to drive to Oakland, what? And so about a year went by, and a friend of a friend was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to roller derby practice. And I was like, you're doing what? Take me with you. And so we started carpooling from San Jose, and I like comedy. I was just hooked right away. Addictive personality. And I just loved it. And I was awful in the beginning. Like, my nickname is Baby Giraffe because A, I'm giant, and B, I could not roller skate. It was like, what is wrong?
Is that your roller derby name? That
No,
doesn't
I'm
sound
Kimfectious.
Kimfectious, okay.
But it was kind of like my first open mic where it was like, I'm just kind of flailing around and I don't know what's happening and I can't really feel my body, but I need to do this again. And I just kept going and I got better.
I don't even know about roller. Are there positions? Do you play a position?
Yes. You're either a blocker or a jammer. And so there's 4 blockers from each team and 2 jammers, and the whistles start, and these blockers create what's called a pack, and the jammer has to skate through. The track is kind of oval shaped, and the jammers have to skate through the blockers to score points, and you get a point for every blocker whose hips you pass.
Right.
So there's no ball. That's a myth.
Yeah.
I just would like to expel that myth right now. There's no ball in roller derby.
No balls.
No, there is men's derby, so you can't really say no balls.
Right.
But there's no ball.
Okay.
And so the jammer gets through, and then she scores points. So the blockers are trying to keep the other jammer from scoring points while assisting their jammer. So you kind of have to play offense and defense at the same time.
So what do you do?
I block.
And is this now? There's roller derby on a flat track, and then
Yes.
there's roller derby on a
Bank track. We play flat track. We're part of the WFTDA, the Women's Flat Track Derby Association.
What's the major difference between them? Is there a reason why the track is slanted in one?
Well, bank track, you have to build this big old track that's
Right.
like this oval rampy stuff, and it's just kind of expensive. And
Why would you do that out of curiosity?
it's fun.
Okay.
Flat track, you get to be part of the WFTDA, which is a nationwide thing that holds regional and national championships. So if you want to call yourself the best roller derby league in the world, then you should probably be part of the WFTDA.
The flat track.
I've been on a bank track before. It's super fun. Our all-star team is actually going to play LA's bank track team in a couple weeks. So there's definitely teams that are bitractual. So they can play both.
Right.
It's a preference thing, honestly. Preference, money.
So the roller derby it seems like it's been getting more and more popular around the Bay Area.
Yes.
Is there like a marketing push behind this, or are people just catching on naturally to roller derby?
I think it's both. There are so many leagues all over the country now and all over the world and probably even in Venezuela.
Wow.
that everybody knows somebody who plays roller derby, So there's like, oh, my friend does that. Let's go check that out. But there's been documentaries, there's been movies, so I think it's both marketing and just, everybody loves roller derby.
Even the girl from Juno.
Whippet? Are you talking about the Whippet?
Juno after had the abortion.
Juno had an abortion and now she plays roller derby.
Okay, well, I actually have a serious roller derby question.
Okay.
Let's say you show up to your first roller derby practice and you have rollerblades. Do you get clowned to high hell?
You mean fruit boots?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Have people shown up with rollerblades?
People have shown up with all kinds of things.
What are the other options?
Well, I would suggest taking yourself on down to Cruise Skate Shop and buying a pair of roller skates. We skate on quad skates, so you have 4 wheels. My very first practice, I had to borrow everything because I didn't even think I was going to skate that night.
Yeah.
My friend took me to practice, and I was wearing jeans and a wife beater or a white tank top, if you're politically correct.
This is San Francisco.
And they were like, well, you have to skate tonight to try out, or otherwise you have to wait a year. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll skate. So I'm wearing jeans and those roller skates from the roller rink, like the brown ones with the orange wheels.
Yeah.
And like knee pads, I don't think they even matched, and like somebody else's elbow pads and like some wrist guards, and I think a bike helmet. I think I wore a bike helmet. And then I was like, whoa, what's happening? And just falling everywhere. So really, I would suggest buying the proper equipment.
Right. Don't show up in rollerblades.
Don't show up in rollerblades.
Don't show up in those little shoes that have the wheel in the
No,
back.
the strap-on kind. No, not the Skechers either. The Sketcher roller skates. Don't wear those.
Oh, man.
Don't take your skateboard apart and glue it to your shoes.
So, I mean, it's roller derby is kind of brutal. Are you attracted to that brutality?
Yes.
Do you like
the
pain?
Yes. Don't stop.
Yes. What is it about that is like appealing to you?
It's not actually the pain.
No.
It's more, roller derby is such, it's really heavy on the mental strategy, which is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
And like different ways of like, okay, we're going to get together and do this, and you guys get together and do this, and then we're going to attack the jammer this way.
Right.
Or even just the fact that it's a game where you can be simultaneously playing offense and defense at the same time. There's a lot to think about. And it's just, like, the Bay Area Derby Girls is just such a fun, supportive group of people. Like, the sport has grown so much. I mean, at first, it was like a drinking team, and sometimes we put roller skates on. Okay, you know what I mean? Let's be real. Like, that's how roller derby kind of started, and now it's become a nationally ranked sport where we cross train and we help each other to work out more and get better, and like, it's just an amazing organization of women, and we have such a huge fan base now, and it's just really grown to be so supportive.
Have you ever tried it, Eloisa?
Me, no.
No, would you try it?
Yes, but I feel like, because we feel like I'm copying Kim, and actually that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, like, well, but because I saw the movie Whipper, and I'm sure you hate it, but I'm like, that is kind of cool.
I'll put some skates on her feet.
I don't like pain. I like giving pain, but I don't like receiving it. So there is that.
We could dish some out. You just got to be able to take a little bit.
Yeah, no.
No? No. You just want to...
Yeah.
From afar, just crack that whip.
Yeah, whips are fine. But it does sound. So I'm gonna go see you. That sounds like really, really cool.
Our season opener is March 2nd.
March 2nd, Bay Area Derby Girls. Well, so where do you guys live right now? Kimberly, you work. I mean, you live in Oakland.
Yep.
What part of Oakland do you live in?
60th and Telegraph.
Hmm,
So whatever you call
what do
that.
you call it? Do you
My
call
house?
Do you call it Nobe?
What is Nobe?
Nobe. It's like it's the term that
Nobe
some
beef.
realtors came up with to distance it from saying like the hood, basically. Because it used to be the hood.
It did. It's weird because it's kind of where Emeryville and Berkeley and Oakland all kind of touch.
Yeah.
It's like right at my house.
North Oakland, Berkeley, or no, North Oakland bordering Emeryville. That's Nobe.
Oh, that's what Nobe means.
Yeah.
Oh.
But don't say that because then they're going to think you're a poser.
Maybe I am a poser.
Some people even say Temescal all the way up 16th in San
Temescal.
Pablo.
Mm,
Yeah. Well,
not hating Temescal.
wishful thinking.
Yeah.
How does your neighborhood influence your comedy at all?
Yes. I've written quite a few jokes about
Urban gardening.
not yet,
No.
but that's a good one. I'm gonna write that down. White people, what they
Yeah.
like to do. Urban gardening.
Planting
Yeah, I think just
sunflowers in their front
being-
yard.
Like I grew up in San Jose and then
Okay.
I moved to Denver for a while and then I moved to San Francisco for a while and now I'm in Oakland. So I think where I am definitely influences what kind of jokes I'm writing at the time and what I'm writing those jokes about. And so there was definitely a big change for me just in moving from Denver to San Francisco, and there was a change in moving to Oakland. So yeah, it definitely influences what I'm writing about.
And where are you living right now, Eloisa?
I live in 17th and Mission.
Ooh.
I live with the crack whores
Ooh.
and the hipsters.
See, I want to interrogate you a little bit because when I was looking for an apartment in the Mission, I didn't think you can get that on crack whore money.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, are these crack whores living
Well,
5 to a room? What?
well, most of them don't have teeth, so I'm sure they can charge a little bit higher for whatever they do. So, yeah.
Actually, I do have a funny crack whore story in the
Yeah?
Mission.
Who's this interview about? I'm just
Sorry,
kidding. Go
sorry.
ahead. Please tell us
Sorry,
your
guys.
crack whore story. No, tell us.
There was
Tell us.
so it's like Cap Street, I think, around 18th, 17th, 18th. I was driving around and I turned this corner. It was nighttime, and there was this woman standing there, large black woman, overweight. Didn't think anything of it, and as I'm passing, I see that her shirt is just not on. She has no shirt, and she has these massive titties, just like really so big they're kind of like pancaking on her stomach, really big, stretch marks and everything. And I'm like, whoa, that chick has no shirt on. Her titties are just out there. And so of course, like me and my passenger are looking as we drive by, and she sees us looking, and she just looks us dead in the eyes, like, mm-hmm. So one of the people in the car didn't see it the first time. He's like, "Dude, you gotta go around the corner. I gotta see this. Go, just circle around the corner." I go back again. She's still there with her titties hanging out. So we
You guys
nicknamed
circled
her
the block for pancake titties?
for titties. Yeah, her nickname became Titties. So and actually, I've seen her several times.
Is she ever wearing a
since then.
shirt?
She's usually wearing a shirt. Yeah.
Okay, so that
But
was
she
like
always
a special
has
show.
the like saucy
Some sass.
attitude. You know, she
And are you
serves
into
it.
that?
I'm into the attitude, but I wasn't into the pancake
Why,
titties.
well, you know, sometimes, yeah.
Is that your roommate?
Well, the other day, no, but the other day I'm working in 16. I'm gonna take BART,
Yeah,
and then there is this large black woman.
maybe it's the same.
Well, maybe, but she did have her top on,
Right.
but she had a very, very little skirt and nothing
Ooh.
on there, and then she will like go all the way down to the floor, and then I'm coming in, and then she showed me her butt, and she was massive. And like all the holes and vagina and everything, like I have never seen them before, just display right there.
Wow.
But I'm still thinking because I have to hold my urge of like slap her, like because her butt was so massive, like boom.
That's totally
You just wanted
derogatory.
to bitch slap her?
I don't know, it was so massive. It's like there is something about like still thinking. I still think about it, like oh my
Yeah.
god, that was an ass, like there. Yeah,
Maybe it's the same woman.
maybe.
I mean, that's probably her turf.
Yeah. But I keep thinking, I thought it was a positive experience.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't see it as a negative. I'm like, and you get to see this.
Eloisa actually gives me a hard time because I wrote a couple jokes about people thinking that I was a prostitute, and she didn't think that like all of these dudes were hitting on me all the time. And then we were in BART the other day, and this dude was driving. I don't know how he got a shopping cart down into the BART part.
Wow.
Like he had a whole shopping cart full of shit, just walking around 16th Street BART. And he looked over at me and he was like, "Girl, I'm going to masturbate to you later."
Oh, shit.
And she was like, "It's real. It's real. You weren't lying." And I was like, "Yes."
Oh,
Yes.
my God.
All like
do have a
98%.
magnet.
I have a what?
A magnet.
Yes. 98% of what I write is just from life experience. Just weird shit happens.
I don't know what part of that story to fixate on, the masturbate later part, or the fact that he was able to get that
Shopping
Shopping
cart down
cart
there,
down
right? I
there,
was
like-
impressed. It was full of stuff.
But they have
He-
elevators.
Oh.
Oh, but you still have to go through that little like
Yeah, like
gate
how do you get
thing
it on
to
BART?
get the-
Yeah.
I mean, I can barely get a bike through there.
Yeah.
Like, but then again, there's never anybody at those booths, so
That's true.
it's like you're totally messing with someone's day if you want to, get your BART ticket that the machine ate. Say
I know.
it's kind of an awful
Yeah.
experience. Public
I could
transportation
write a
in
novel,
San Francisco is
public transportation.
Yeah, it's not great.
No. But are you not happy that they changed the seats of a bar to plastic?
Oh yeah.
Finally?
Finally.
That's awesome.
How
I
many
think that is
times
awesome.
have you gotten onto BART? Maybe it hasn't happened to you, but it's happened to me twice. Where I get onto BART and I'm about to sit down in a seat, and then I look at the seat and it's covered in blood.
Oh, shit.
That has.
I never look.
You should look. Because actually, one time it was not only
You have
covered in
seen-
blood, but there was a knife wrapped in a newspaper.
Shut up.
I'm
Somebody
not-
got shanked on the
Somebody
BART.
got shanked on the BART.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
All kinds of shit happens on the
Did
BART.
you report that?
Fuck no. That's not my job.
I'm not about the authorities. Nope.
It's not my job to keep people alive. Shit.
Shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty out there.
What? If you're going to the Great American Music Hall, what BART exit do you get off at?
I would say get off at Civic Street.
Civic
Or
Center.
Civic Center, sorry. Powell Street Station or Civic Center. Neither of them are really close. You're going to have to walk or take a cab or a bus if you dare.
But then they have that really nice, what is it called? Titty bar close to the music. I'm thinking that maybe we can have the after party there.
Oh,
what?
actually, there's
there is
two
a
of them. Yeah.
brothers.
The
There is
Mitchell
a brother
brothers. Yeah.
thing that is ranked to be one of the good titty bars in the city.
Right.
But then, if it were going to be very interesting, it could be the ones in Market that is full nudity but no alcohol.
Yeah, you can't do both.
So that's the
know,
plan,
isn't that
everyone.
sad?
Great American
Yeah.
Music Hall and then titty bars.
After show
hey.
at the Titty Bar.
I'm just saying.
Well, there's also the one right around the corner, the Century Club.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I'm an expert or anything, but
Are you
I
a gold
was at,
member at the Century Club?
we refer to it as platinum, but no.
Oh shit!
I went to the New Year's show at the music hall, and I always drive around on New Year's every year just to see.
Drunk.
Not drunk. I'm responsible. I drive around, not intoxicated. On my way home is another story, but I usually drive around just to kind of see what's going on, where people are hanging out, and seemed kind of dead this year. A lot of places weren't really popping.
Really?
But the Century Club was
Oh.
fucking off the hook. There were drunk motherfuckers out of there just yelling at every bitch that passed by. Like, you didn't even have to be attractive. Just, yo girl, what you doing tonight? Why don't you come? Oh, you looking good.
I feel like New Year's Eve is the worst holiday. It's such
Kind of the
amateur night. Like it's just like
Yeah.
a bunch of sluts with goosebumps walking around in these giant shoes. Like, get me drunk tonight. I'm about to make some resolutions tomorrow. Like I don't. It's annoying. They took up all the BART space.
Oh,
They got their sequins on me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of New Year's either. I mean, you're paying $50 basically to be around
Idiots, all of them.
really drunk people from Martinez.
Yeah.
Nothing against people from Martinez,
Just saying, Martinez. Sucks.
but there are some nasty
know,
people there.
I have a bigger problem with Halloween.
With Halloween,
Yeah, I really don't like
Really?
Halloween.
There's a lot of
many
slutty
douchebags.
holidays in San Francisco. It's like Halloween,
Yeah.
New Year's, St. Patrick's Day, Beta Breaker. It's like
Oh, I
San
lo- I
Francisco.
love Beta
Any
Breaker.
excuse to be mostly naked and drunk in the street,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
let's
But
not
my
forget
favorite of all
Folsom.
of that is Beta
Folsom?
Breaker. I love Beta Breaker.
Oh yeah,
Like I didn't go this year, but I like that one. That one is cool.
are you out there like dressed as the Statue of Liberty with?
I'm always
Some natty ice?
Well, I did that the first time. So then I have to get like a chitty costume and the meal. But then people can tell, because this is what I like about Beta Breaker. People can tell if you have put effort or not, and if
Really?
you haven't. But if you have, you're like a part of the community. Like, yeah, you as much of a loser as I am that I spent this much time doing this. Let's be friends. So what I did, I bought a wedding dress, and then I go as a
A runaway bride.
no as a redneck bride. So I put like
Oh.
I'm pregnant. I put funny thing, smoking and drinking with my pregnant. A lot of people think that I'm actually pregnant, and they're like, "Oh shit, that you're pregnant." I'm like, "I'm drunk
oh,
as it
that's
comes."
badass.
Like, really? Wow.
So there are people that take the costumes very seriously.
Yeah. Very.
So are the people with rainbow afros and like big funny sunglasses, are they in the in crowd or are they ostracized?
They're ostracized.
Really?
Yeah, that's
You
not
can
cool.
spend $5 in your costume and then
See, I thought those were the main motherfuckers with the boas and no? You're telling me there's another demographic out there.
I've never actually been.
No, but there is
Truth
something.
comes
No,
out.
well, you have the troop of people, and then you have and then there's something like could be like pirates, but they're really they're all synchronized. The costumes are awesome.
Huh.
And then there are other ones that I'm gonna be somebody from the 60s, and they just put like a
Yeah.
thing, and you didn't know the best costume I saw was this guy, and it was a bright dress, and it was put with signs of like Federal Express and UPS all over the whole dress. And then he had like a thing as well, packed like wrap, because he was a mail to order bride.
Oh,
How fucking awesome was that? It was
that's good.
a good guy.
I don't think it's the events themselves that irritate me. It's like
Right.
the aftermath. Like, okay, now you're shit-faced. Like a bunch of you are shit-faced and then trying to all take public transportation or like trying to be, and then it's like you're everywhere and you have lost your mind. You forgot how to be a grown-up. I'm not at work right now. Please get your shit together. I don't want to babysit you. Like, it's just like that. Ugh.
Yeah.
Agree.
Well, why do you think there are so many people that just want an excuse to dress slutty? I think that's the real question. Have you ever done the slutty Halloween costume thing?
No.
Yeah.
What were you a slutty version of?
I think I was like a slutty zombie. And I think I was
That's funny. It's not a zombie I'm dead.
I think a lot of females go through some sort of slutty stage.
No, I have
And
been
maybe-
very slutty, but I haven't dressed as slutty as a costume. Like that for me is called like it used to be Friday night.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She keeps it real.
But it's a lot of, but where's the slutty costume? That means that you need to like really work on the costume.
Yeah.
Or you can just do the pull up t-shirt and then there you go.
I don't know what's wrong with women.
Yeah, they're fucked up.
Dude, but what is it like? Now I'm gonna get racial.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry. But if you want to see like really slutty dressing, these Asian girls Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's freezing in here, young lady.
No, that's not just an Asian thing. White girls do that. There's every color of girl does that.
Shit.
They do.
And then like the thing on the outside.
Well, because they can't be slutty in their 9-to-5 world, right? Like they got to go to the office. They got to pick the kids up from soccer. You can't be that slutty mom who's wearing the short shorts. You would only be slutty on Halloween. Like we've just made it socially acceptable to be slutty on certain days of the year. And so they do it because, okay, it's okay this day and no one's going to think bad about me at the PTA if I'm slutty today. I think that's really... No. I have nothing to back that up. That's just an opinion.
No.
Just broke it down.
I would like to see a slutty Jesus.
I have seen slutty Jesus.
Have you?
No, what's that holiday in Dolores Park with Easter?
Oh, yeah, that
The
one is
Jesus.
cool. That is very cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool
I
holiday.
like that holiday.
I'm doing it this year.
You're going to be slutty
I'm
Jesus.
going to do it this year. Yeah, I'm going to be... No, it's slutty Maria. The
See,
mother
that's
of Jesus.
sacrilegious, though.
But that's the whole thing. Everybody missed it in Easter, dressed as Jesus.
Right.
In Dolores. So, yeah, I'm going to do something like that. Yeah, but then I'm not going to remember.
How are you going to be slutty and pregnant?
And a virgin.
I'm a virgin.
This costume is going to blow my mind.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
going to remind you.
I'm
going to remind you in March to
I'm
fucking
write
get on
something
it.
about the things that I would like this costume to be.
Just write it on a piece of paper and tape it to
here.
yourself.
Like, it's this.
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying.
Just like theoretical costume.
Exactly.
Some
because I'm
Yoko
too
Ono
cool to
type
try,
stuff.
like,
Yeah.
make a bunch of copies. Make what I dress like. Yeah. Oh no! Like I just tweeted it. I just put it on Twitter.
Oh, Twitter, yes.
Yeah, just tweet about it and the rest, who cares? As long as you tweeted about it, it's real.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
is it
been...
not real?
What?
It's like,
I think slutty Virgin Mary is probably not real. I mean, she probably
I meant
was.
Twitter itself. But
is
yeah.
Twitter real? I mean, is anything real? Are we really here right now, man?
We're on the internet. I think it's real.
But are we really on the internet?
I don't know. Are you really?
No,
Is this
no.
you did it?
No, we've just been talking this whole time, just not broadcasting for my own perverse pleasure. But we're running up on an hour now, so I'm gonna call it quits for the night. Definitely want to thank you guys for coming down. We got the Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase happening at the Great American Music Hall Friday, January 18th. Everybody come on down. It's going to be funny as shit. It's going to be hilarious. These ladies are going to be there. Liz Grant's going to be there. Natasha Muse, Corinda Dobbins, Priya Prasad, and Marga Gomez. It's going to be an awesome show. Come on down, guys. Bitch Slap Comedy Showcase. Great American Music Hall. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. If you even tuned in, if you're watching this later, sorry for the internet dropping out. Kind of sucks. We're going to do this again sometime. When is anybody's guess? But we should be back pretty soon with another episode of Slims Presents Podcast. Thank you guys for coming down. Thanks for tuning in.
thank you.
Have a good night.
Come to our show.
Come to their show.